Emma Hayes' side will be champions again, a point behind City. But with that game in hand, there is a huge amount of pressure on this game today. Which side handles that best could have a big bearing, actually, on today's outcome. Two teams, but between whom there is precious little. And the Academy Stadium, Lucy, is ready to be entertained here.
Yeah, and I think both of these teams will come into the game really confident. Manchester City confident in their ability to win games at home, but Chelsea have got a real steel about them this season. You know, they're really consistent.
They have an early opportunity here as well, and they're in, and Beth England has missed it. Well, the touch initially from Kerr, but that is a massive opportunity for England.
Big chance to get themselves in front in the first minute. I think that was the defending. You see Beth England's face there. And they won the ball quite high up the pitch, and this is terrific play. Ball slid in, no question of offside. Beat the goalkeeper, and Beth England just thought that she was going to side foot the ball into the back of the net. And maybe that's just the opening minutes where you're not quite into the flow of the game and completely missed it.
Well, of all the players they would have wanted that to fall to, it would be the striker who scored in 8 league games in a row. What an early let-off that is for Manchester City. Hemp now for the home side. Looking for Ellen White. Well, they talked about this being a tactical battle. Emma Hayes, the Chelsea manager, said it would be something of a chess match. It hasn't started off like that at all. There's a real frenetic pace about this. And Ellen White could be in here. It's behind for a corner. Opportunities at both ends.
I don't think anybody told the players about it being a chess game. Blood and thunder. We nearly had 2 goals in the opening 2 minutes. Both number 9s, so both playing that number 9 position. Ellen White, I thought she was going to go with her left foot, but in the end, just held on a little bit too long.
Not even had 2 minutes yet. Waste of a corner, really, as it's cleared by Beth England. Now Sam Kerr, who's got England motoring up in support.
So important as a team when you're attacking on a corner like that, that you prepare for the what-ifs. What if you do lose it like that? What if it's not a very good corner? And in the end, City defended it well against Kerr's pace.
Cuthbert. This is arguably the biggest game of the league season so far. First against second. Precious 3 points up for grabs, and quite the game in prospect here, which has started in lively fashion as well.
I have to say though, Adam, for the start of the game, both back fours were really high and square, and I think that's contributed to a chance each. You know, in the opening couple of minutes, it's not really a way that a coach would probably want the teams to start, particularly in conditions like this as well. One ball beat both back fours.
Bright, one of 3 Chelsea players in the She Believes Cup squad for England. Millie Bright, 8 for Manchester City, all of them starting this today. Eriksson, Anderson. Manchester City with the chance here to extend their lead at the top of the table to 4 points, although Chelsea would still have a game in hand on them. A Chelsea win here and they'd be 2 points clear of City with a game in hand, so potentially a 5-point lead.
I don't think you could underestimate or play down. Both managers tried to play down the significance of this fixture before the game, but I'm not having that. This is a crucial game for both teams in terms of who's going to end up winning the league.
Bonner. Cuthbert. G kept it in, found Mjelde. Give it away though. Caroline Weir, who's been so effective in a deeper role this season, very often playing key passes.
Interesting that in the reverse fixture, Manchester City were on top in midfield and got themselves in front, and then Chelsea wrestled the initiative away from them, gets G on the ball and went on to win the game. And I think that's the thing. The key is, seeing a foul there on Becky, just caught. The key is that midfield battle and who can get themselves on top, because I think that will probably be the winner of that. Will probably be the winner of the game.
Horton. Demi Stokes. And to Stokes here, but Sam Kerr's nicked it. And Beth England's in the middle. Pass didn't find her, it's Wrighton trying to win it back, but Walsh gets it clear. Skillfully done by Weir, but then Millie Bright wins it back. They were hoping for a free kick there, City, but nothing doing from the referee, Rebecca Welsh, and there's the cross, and England's there! Well, Roebuck came a long way, and there have been nervous moments for both defences so far in the first 5 minutes or so.
Man City in particular have been a little bit careless in possession, and the last thing you want is to give the likes of Cuthbert or Sam Kerr the ball freely on that right-hand side.
So rare to see City looking a little nervy at the back. They have the league's best defensive record this season. Chelsea the most prolific attack. As both coaches have pointed out, Emma Hayes and Alan Mahon, it's likely to be a game of fine margins, this one. It nearly always is.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that the conditions will play a part as well. The wind's going from left to right, and I think that's why Roebuck came for the ball then and sort of came away from her, and she had to reach for it in the end. But Chelsea are getting themselves into a rhythm of passing that Man City will surely want to stop.
England. There's the cross in towards Kerr. Good take though by Ellie Roebuck. 10 clean sheets in the league this season for the England goalkeeper. Says goal is to secure a position as England's #1.
She's a fantastic keeper already, but she's got so much more potential in her. Terrific stature, technically very good as a goalkeeper, and really growing in confidence. The #1 goalkeeper at Manchester City at her age. Considerable feat. Especially as the player who was initially in her way was the then England #1, Karen Bardsley, who has had a lot of injury problems of late. It's good defending by Steph Horton there. She kidded in that she was going to go in with the attacker and ended up laying at her feet.
Hemp, chance to stretch her legs. Stanway in the middle. Ellen White in the middle. Stanway. They're appealing for handball, but the referee, Rebecca Welsh, with a shake of the head there.
Definitely hit Nailed as I think's arm, but I'm not sure she knew very much about it. If you were a coach watching this, or both coaches, it's probably a little bit too open for the magnitude of the game. Adam, you've got to protect the spaces that are important in behind your back four and in front of your midfield, and neither team are really doing that at the moment. That's probably to do with how big a game it is and how nervous the two teams might be.
Wrighton keeps it in. Great cross, and Kerr couldn't direct it towards goal. I remember seeing not a hugely dissimilar cross from Wrighton in the game, the win over Arsenal, that picked out Sam Kerr at the back post that time.
It's good play down this left-hand side, and in the end, it's great defending by Bonner, just did enough. Couldn't get a free header on goal there, Sam Kerr.
Walsh under pressure from Ingle, that one of several key battles across the pitch. Scots. So much talk about Chelsea's firepower. They are the league's top scorers. It's a big difference to last season for them. They ended the previous campaign as the third highest scorers. In fact, Arsenal managed 24 goals more than them. Not this season. Oh, what a good ball that is. And Hemp's taking it down beautifully. Stanway's an option. Ellen White's an option in the middle. Weir. Hemp with the cross. It's going to come all the way over here to Janine Becky, the Canadian international. She's dug out a decent ball. And it was set up to be hit by Caroline Weir, who couldn't direct it on target.
It came to her. She was wrong foot. It was a terrific chance in the end. It was well worked down the left-hand side initially, and then Becky puts a searching cross in, and it didn't need as much power. That I think Caroline Weir's just trying to make sure on her weaker right foot. Just needed a tap in, didn't it? Because she wasn't anywhere near close to her. Big chance for City.
She's been talking, Caroline Weir, just of late about how much she's enjoying being at Manchester City. Said the club really is testing her, took her out of her comfort zone. He seems to be enjoying living in the city of Manchester too. Brilliantly done by Steph Hall.
Sorry, Adam, I do think she's really improved. She's improved the side and she's improved herself as well. I mean, she's terrific, so technically good, but she plays others in, and the fulcrum of the team, along with Keira Walsh.
It was Jill Scott who was driving forward there, and Ellen White was just waiting for the pass to be slipped through, but the challenge came in from the Chelsea captain, Eriksson.
Man City will need Jill Scott's athleticism today. It's the only way of stopping her, really, when she's in full throat.
She says Chelsea is always the toughest game of the season, does Jill Scott. I loved reading an interview with her the other day where she said that she feels she's got that northeast attitude of just getting stuck in, she said. There's a few in the City side with that, isn't there? Steph Houghton, another one from the northeast. Demi Stokes was at Sunderland.
Absolutely. She's always been like that since she was young, playing Jill Scott, so difficult a competitor to play against. But they've got the wind with them now. Caroline Weir's cultured left foot.
What can she produce here in the 12th minute? It's a good cross, and it's flicked on and only just wide. Oh, that was close. Ellen White with the touch.
It's another massive, massive chance for City. They needed to put one of these two away. I mean, she got ahead, she got a clear header onto it, but just shy of that near post. The crowd on that side thought it had gone in. Terrific set piece though from City.
No opening goal yet in this game, but plenty of chances at both ends. Good watch so far. And with this first against second, 1 point between these two title rivals. Emma Hayes talked about this being a highly tactical chess match. Of course, not up against Nick Cushing today. Very familiar foe for Emma Hayes. Although, you know, Chelsea have never won here at the Academy Stadium in the WSL under Emma Hayes.
It's a really difficult place to come, isn't it? I think if they're going to do it, this is the season to do it, the way that they're playing.
City motoring forward with Hempire. Cross. Not close enough to Ellen White as Jill Scott loses the race to keep that in.
Yeah, Ellen White fit inside and then went near post, and the cross from Hemp. There's nobody else in the box as it went far post. But these are good opportunities for City. You know, they were under pressure at the start of this game and conceded a couple of chances to Chelsea, but they should have got themselves in front.
Maren Mjelde, Norwegian international captain. Stanway. Walsh. Manchester City passing with precision and pace in the early stages here. Another cross in towards Ellen White. That time it came off Eriksson.
Those balls into the box to Ellen White, coupled with Ellen White's movement, they're really causing problems for Chelsea. And of course, both teams know each other's strengths and weaknesses. You just only have to look at when Keira Walsh looks like she's going to get anywhere near the ball for City. There's always a Chelsea player close by. They know, Chelsea, that Walsh will tend to dictate the way that City play.
Back it comes here to Ellie Roebuck. And now Demi Stokes. Caroline Weir. Hoping to get into Phil Neville's Olympic squad. Houghton. Walsh. The ball forwards. Out came the goalkeeper, Berger, to take it away from Georgia Stanway. Sophie Ingle, what a good season she's had, the Welsh international captain. Manager Emma Hayes says she's so clever, a really great leader as well. I think we've seen that come to the fore for Chelsea this season.
She's so effective for the way Chelsea play. She tends to do quite a lot of her work in the background and only comes to the fore when she scored that terrific goal against Arsenal, but she's quite happy playing like that. Whenever she receives the ball, she looks like she's in so much space. It's just her movement and her understanding of her own position.
Wilson got in front of England. Caroline Weir. Shade over a quarter of an hour gone. Time it's overhit. But they are looking for Hemp with great regularity down that left-hand side.
Yeah, as soon as they can get their heads up, Man City, particularly Horton and Walsh, when they get hold of it, Caroline Weir, the forward players know to run into a certain space, and it's that forward pass with a bit of purpose, and it's beating that Chelsea back four at the moment.
Ingle. Right. Nicely worked here to Bright. England and Kirby Onda. Can she pick the pass here? She's picked out Beth England. He'll try and drive it in, but it's cleared by Gemma Bonner.
Terrific play from Millie Bright. She won the ball originally and continued to run. Created that opportunity for Beth England, but again, Horton and Bonner are equal to anything that Chelsea have thrown at them so far.
Become a real feature of Bright's game. That ability to stride out from defence. Millie Bright saying ahead of this game that the mentality at Chelsea now, or it has been all season, is that every game is a final. It sounds a bit of a cliche, I know, but you can see what she means by that, because watching Chelsea regularly this season, they have looked like that for most games. There's only been one or two where maybe they've just let standards drop a little bit, the draw at Liverpool being one of them, and at Brighton.
Yeah,
well,
they've got that consistency, Adam, haven't they? And she epitomises everything about Chelsea, Millie Bright, and she's grown within her role within this team and squad now. One of the more experienced players and one of the best players that the team have got. Like you say, just they're playing week in, week out at a certain level, and have not really let those levels drop, which is easy to do sometimes.
Eriks. Anderson. Right. England. And Kerr's in the middle. And there's her header! Well, Roebuck got something on that. It's going to be a corner.
That was nearly a perfect goal. Well worked by Chelsea. 1 and 2 touches with a final left-footed cross. It's not far away. Roebuck wasn't sure whether that was going to sneak in at that far post, and terrific save. And she does saves like that 2 or 3, 4 times a game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? She's just 20, Ali Roebuck.
And the first time as well that Sam Kerr's got herself in between the two centre halves as well. It's a terrific movement from her and a great cross from Beth England.
Chelsea with the corner. Beth England stood right next to Roebuck. It was Stokes at the near post. They've not dealt with that. Well, it was Cuthbert, number 22, had the chance inside the 6-yard box there. Quite dropped for her.
I think originally as it landed at the near post, Demi Stokes swung her leg at it and completely missed. Bodies were flung at it. Georgia Stanway in front of Cuthbert. Nobody really knew where that ball was going to end up.
G. Chelsea have scored in 28 league games running, an amazing record. And this solid City defence be the first one to keep them out since Birmingham in October 2018. Millie Bright scored in that 2-2 draw here. Millie Bright back in February 2018. That was another good game. I remember in that game, though, it was City who rather took control in the first half and Chelsea the second half. There really hasn't been one dominant team at all so far in this game.
Yeah, it's probably been a lot more open in terms of conceding chances that both managers will care to like, to be honest. It's an exciting watch anyway.
Stanway gets the free kick.
Chelsea have had quite a deliberate pattern of play, particularly down this left-hand side. The ball goes into midfield and then out wide. Always one of the strikers in the box.
Lauren Hemp now. Stokes. Walsh. Hemp. Back inside it goes to Walsh. You can pick a pass from that sort of position. Wide it goes this time to Becky. Stanway. Scott and Walsh look for White and Weir and Becky. Great ball in. Ellen White for Manchester City. Well, this builds in many ways as a potential shootout between two England number 9s. England at one end, but it's White at this end that's got the opener.
She's had a couple of chances, hasn't she, Ellen White? Originally she looked offside from this one, but what a ball this is from Janine Becky. And she looks like she's level there. I think it's Mielda playing her onside. Great finish from Ellen White as well. Like I say, she always gets herself into those areas. It's the rest of the players' jobs to put the ball in front of her, and that's what happens. And she's played so well at right back, hasn't she, Janine Becky? A new position for her. You can always rely on Ellen White to score and give her that sort of chance.
Well, it was a big decision from Alan Mahon, the interim Manchester City head coach, even with Ellen White's reputation, Lucy, to leave out their top scorer today, Pauline Bramer, who has got 22 goals in 20 appearances this season. She's got 8 in her last 7 league games, but that man there decided to go with Ellen White, and that has probably just been vindicated.
Yeah, I would suspect that he probably thinks that the partnership between Stanway and Ellen White is the more effective one. So Ellen White's the number 9 and she's the furthest forward. When you've got Ellen White in your team, you have to play her. I don't think there's any question about that. It's just whether Bramer maybe played instead of Stanway, but they're both archetypal number 9s, aren't they? So he obviously thought that the partnership is a lot better, and at the moment it's proven a fruitful one.
Say that both sides have really looked at it, haven't they, in this first 23 minutes. It's been a high technical standard, this game. It's sure the best sides, not just in this country, but in Europe, in the world, club sides, be up there. Scott, trapped by Guro Wrighton, taken out of play by Jill Scott. Jill Scott again here. Well, she has a tattoo on her wrist, Jill Scott. It says step by step, day by day, mile by mile, and in some ways that's how both of these sides, if you listen to what they had to say, the managers and the players before the game, are approaching this title race very much going with the mentality of one game at a time. But this is the game, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the one where they both want to win, and then they'll look at each of the next games and hope they don't slip up over so-called lesser teams that they've got to play. But this is the one that they both want to win, and I think you can see that by the way that the game's panned out, and both teams going for it. In terms of their attacking, I would say defensively though, both teams at the moment are just defending crosses into the box using the centre halves. I think the full-backs of both teams have not really contributed to that. which does have an effect. I think both sets of centre-halves will be pulling the full-backs in, and we need a little bit of protection when this ball comes into the box. What a ball this is by Beckett. I'm not so sure it is offside. I think I'd have been gutted as a centre-forward if that would have been flagged offside, but terrific play by City.
I have to say as well, Lucy, that as good as the cross was from Becky, what about the presence of mind of Caroline Weir to pick her out? There are a lot of players in that position who would have lashed at goal that Caroline Weir was in, or not seen the movement of Becky. Well, she did really well there.
Yeah, the way they set up Man City is Jill Scott to sort of come inside and allow that space for Janine Becky, so she's always an option at the right-hand side, because she doesn't tend to be marked, so at the edge of the area, she's always free. Obviously, she has the quality to put the ball in the box like that.
I think she's been a nice surprise for Manchester City in that position, Janine Becky.
I think if you're a forward-thinking player, a right back is quite a nice position because everything's in front of you. She's got to worry about the defensive part of it, and obviously Wrighton playing down that left-hand side, it should be a problem for Beckett at some points during this game.
England. Wrighton. It's well defended by Janine Beckett. Back from international duty. Her last WSL appearance was on the 19th of January. Big boost for City to have her back in the side. England's cross charged down by Scott. Bright sends it long. Well, what a big midweek we have coming up in the Champions League. Two huge ties involving English sides. Chelsea against Bayern, the German champions at the Bridge. That's on Tuesday. And then the following night, Pep Guardiola and Manchester City head to the Bernabeu to face Real Madrid. That's on Wednesday on BT Sport 2. Should say we also have this midweek as well. Two other fantastic ties. Napoli against Barca and Lyon against Juventus. Georgia Stanway's chasing this, a mistake at the back. But they just about recovered.
It's a couple of times now that one ball has beaten the back four of Chelsea. And to be fair to them, they recovered incredibly well. And just muscled Georgia Stanway off the ball, but it's been an issue.
Both of these sides were in FA Cup action recently. As Hemp gets on the ball here, and it's with Stanway, and now Weir. Walsh. Misjudged the pass, intercepted by Maren Mjelde. City were 10-0 winners over Ipswich in their FA Cup game. Three players got hat-tricks, Bramer, Park and Stanway Coombs got the other. It was far less emphatic for Chelsea, but they did deserve to go through, certainly beating Liverpool 1-0. Guro Wrighton with the only goal in that one. Missed by Demi Stokes. Mjelde got the winner the last time these two sides met, Kingsmeadow. Millie Bright. Eriksson. It goes from Walsh. Took out G. Teammate there, Eriksson. Mjelde with a really well-weighted pass, and Kerr with the chance. Good save, Roebuck. What a good ball that was, by the way.
I'll tell you what, that was centimetre perfect, that ball. Demi Stokes thought she was going to get it all the way chasing back, and right at the last minute just evaded her reach. And she's a quick left back, so what a ball that was. Couldn't do anything with it, and Roebuck again equal.
Go higher, get the back line.
To the forwards of Chelsea.
Walton's ball forward blocked by England. Becky. Almost half an hour gone here. Caroline Weir looking for the room for the shot. She found it, but it was rather straight out, and Katrin Berger
did everything right, didn't she? Caroline Weir, the edge of the area. Took it round. Defender Cuthbert steadied herself, but just couldn't get it in the corner. Well done, Berger. What a ball this was. Just too far away from Demi Stokes all the way through. Couldn't get it through to Beth England. I'm not sure that against the wind here, Adam, that it's a little bit too high, the back four of Chelsea, and no real pressure on the ball means that one ball through is beating the back four of Chelsea. It's happened 2 or 3 times now, and it's a danger for them in terms of conceded again.
Bonner, who's a former Chelsea player. Chelsea here looking for their first WSL win away at Manchester City. There are only 2 league wins in this fixture. They both come at home, including this season's reverse match, which finished 2-1 back in December. I have to say, since that defeat to Chelsea, City have responded brilliantly, winning all 6 of their league games since, scoring 17 goals and conceding only 3. Got another one here today through Ellen White. Right, England. Space here for G. And Karen Carney, one of our guests, described before the game as the world's best midfielder. Real high praise from Karen.
And what you'll find is when G's playing well, Chelsea win. So when she starts to get on this ball, and she will do at some point in phases during this game, when she does, Chelsea will be on top, and it's just taking advantage of that when they do start winning that midfield battle. And that's how good she is.
She scored against City in 2018. G, the player on the ball here, and 2019. Wonder could she do it again in 2020. Hasn't had a chance fall to her, but Chelsea have had opportunities. The best perhaps fell to this player here, Beth England, inside 30 seconds. Can she produce a cross? It's deflected behind for a corner.
She's prepared to do that, isn't she? Beth England, run the channels, do anything that's required. She works so hard for the team. It's a good opportunity for Chelsea now. Get themselves back in the game.
Forward comes Millie Bright. Eriksson, the other centre half, is up too. Only 2 goals conceded at home in the league this season by Manchester City, but they have to be switched on here. Well, they're saying there was a handball there. Several of the Chelsea players appealing. Nothing from the referee.
I'm a real advocate of players' reactions, just betray them. And the first reactions there of the Chelsea players, though, that it was a handball, but I'm sure we'll see.
Mjelde put under a bit of pressure and forced backwards here by Caroline Weir. They've done that well, Manchester City. Both of these sides so consistent. City on a 6-game winning streak in the league. It's 5 wins in a row in the WSL for Chelsea. But if we do get a winner here today, hugely significant in the title race. Whoever did win it would certainly be the favourites to go on and take the title.
Yeah, I do think so, and that's why I think we can't play down the importance of the game, and the players have just got to rise up to it. And I think so far it's been a really enjoyable game. Both sets of players are going for it, and there's been loads of opportunities. So there's a big reaction there. I think it did hit Demi Stokes' hand as it comes in, and you just see the reaction of players. They naturally, if they see a handball, will appeal for it, but the referee was in a good position. Her arm wasn't out, it wasn't up in the air, it wasn't stopping the ball going into the goal.
Becca Welsh, referee in charge today, one of the most experienced in the women's game.
The fact that we haven't noticed her in the first 35 minutes, Adam, shows how good a referee she is, and there's been a lot of talk about refereeing in the women's game. I did a game the other week where the header was given as a penalty, and it was just a mistake by the referee, but wasn't helped by assistant referees. And at this level, you need top-level refereeing and officiating.
That was a bit risky, wasn't it, from Bonner? Ingle. And she somehow managed to wriggle her way out there, but Bonner takes it off Ingle.
I'll tell you what, Gemma Bonner's played well with Horton today, and she's obviously really disappointed that she's not in this latest England squad to go to the She Believes Cup. She's been one of the better centre-halves, performing centre-halves this season.
Hemp's going to chase this, and Mjelde is too. Showed really good pace there, Hemp to keep that in. She is in the England squad for the She Believes Cup, and she's been tripped by Mjelde, who's finding her a handful.
Yeah, she's another player that's grown in stature this season for me, quietly. Lauren Hemp, she's had a run in the team. I mean, she's such a good player. She's got all the attributes to be a top forward winger. Some pace there to get hold of the ball. And obviously Mjelde, she's not a natural right back. She'd prefer to play in other positions on the pitch. And like you say, Hemp's really causing her issues.
Signed a new, what was described as multi-year contract with City in December, Lauren Hemp. Towards that back post, but too much on it for Bonner.
I think it's probably a waste of the use of the wind there from Stanway. She has got the ability to just put the ball right on top of the goalkeeper and let the teammates attack it, but a waste of a set piece, really.
Have a 100% home record in the league so far this season. In fact, they've won 11 home league games in a row. You can trace it back to last season as well. Chelsea, the last team to stop them winning at the Academy Stadium in the league. Fought back from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 in February of last year. There was some late drama in that game. I remember G with an 89th minute equaliser, and there's a long way to go here too, but it's City with the advantage at the moment. G. Ingle. Headed forward by Anderson. Sophie Ingle. Spotted the movement here from Beth England. Cross floated in, and the header clear, a commanding one by Horton, but it's driven back in, and it's gone all the way through. G with the equaliser for Chelsea. A player who has so much significance to this Chelsea team. And she's now scored in 3 calendar years running against City.
We talked about how effective G is, and when she's playing well, Chelsea will play well. I think it got a couple of touches, I think, off the head of Demi Stokes on the way in that took it past Roebuck, but if we don't shoot, we don't score, and that's one thing that G will do from the edge of the area. Bodies in front of her, it could hit anybody and go in. That's exactly what happened, but she's got her team back into this game. Terrific strike.
29 league games running now that Chelsea have scored at least once. Maybe an element of fortune about that one. It will count as G's goal, as it was on target despite the deflections. And as we head towards the final 5 minutes of the first half, a goal at a really significant time for Chelsea.
I think from Man City's point of view, as soon as G gets the ball on the edge of the area, you've got to just throw bodies in front of her and close her right down, not even giving her the opportunity to get her head up and get that shot off. So exactly what she can do.
Well, we had talked, hadn't we, about the significance, the importance of Ji in this team. It was highlighted by Karen Carney, a former teammate, before the match. So it's proved. We've got two Premier League rivals meeting on BT Sport next Saturday. Brighton against Crystal Palace at the Amex, that's on 1. And then what a game we have next weekend, the Continental Cup final. Arsenal against Chelsea, that's live from the City Ground in Nottingham. Start time 5 o'clock on Saturday. How'll she be feeling?
Well, I wouldn't suspect that she'll have been happy with the opening from her team, but she always knows that they have that quality to get a goal back, so probably changes her half-time team talk.
I did say before this that she feels, in her opinion, that Chelsea's performances just of late have been a bit mixed in the last couple of games. She said wants a higher level of performance today from her team. Given away by Demi Stokes to Cuthbert, and now it's England. Done well to hold on to it and picked out Ji. And now Cuthbert, Sam Kerr at the back post, but just couldn't grow enough to get to that. Chelsea on top at the moment. Bonner with the header clear. Mjelde made it for Chelsea. Hemp now has it for City, and now Weir looks to play it up to Stanway.
Strong challenge from Millie Bright. You've got to make sure that you're going to win it when you're going for a challenge with her, and just slightly late to it, Lauren Hemp. Just caught her up a shin.
Chelsea's ball. Mentioned just before Chelsea's equaliser how City's home record is formidable, but you could say similar of Chelsea's away record in the WSL. 27 league games unbeaten on their travels, 18 of them wins. Wrighton with the cross here. Cuthbert. To the back post where Sam Kerr is waiting.
Certainly Chelsea are on the front foot now and just pressing Man City back. That goal for Ji's given her a boost of confidence, which is ominous. We'll never be playing against it.
But in decent goal-scoring form during the recent internationals. Ji, 3 in 2 games for South Korea. They booked their place in the Olympic playoff places. As a marker, always think of a real top player when they have that longevity. Certainly Ji has had that as 6th season now at Chelsea. Been influential in all of them.
Yeah, she has. She's a different type of player, isn't she? And you know, she responds as well when she's treated a little bit physically by the opposition. She gets herself in pockets of space and she moves the ball so quickly. She has been one of the most effective players over the last few seasons for Chelsea.
Here is Ji. Sam Kerr just having to hold her run to stay onside. Guro Wrighton. But three-way fight for the title. We are in the midst of much of this race still to be run, but with no more head-to-heads to come between the top three. This, as we've said, is Huge today, and it's all square in Manchester. G, who got Chelsea's equaliser. That's a rare stray pass from her. Seized upon here by Lauren Hemp. Keira Walsh, last minute of normal time. Brought forward by Erin Cuthbert. Another play by Janine Beckett. A minimum of 60 seconds added on at the end of this first half. Eriksson, G. Becky. Some of the passes aren't quite as crisp or precise from Manchester City. It's Beth England's dummy by Kerr. Half-time whistle's going to come at just the wrong time, really, for Chelsea, who end the half very much on top, despite having trailed. To Ellen White's 6th league goal of the season, scored on 22 minutes, set up beautifully by Janine Becky. But G with the equaliser, albeit deflected for Chelsea. And they go in, probably slightly the happier of the two sides. At half-time here, officially at least decide nothing in terms of the title race, but it's hard to ignore the potential significance of a win for either side. Chelsea's unbeaten record in the league on the line. Manchester City keen to maintain momentum, having won 6 league games in a row. But we're all square as we resume here in Manchester. This is Caroline Weir. Now Lauren Hemp. Weir. Hemp's gone for the return, and it's put behind for a corner by Mara Mjelde.
Still a measured build-up, isn't it, from Manchester City, but they need to come out with a lot more higher intensity when they finished the first half. A bad time to concede for them. Chelsea got themselves on top.
Two City centre halves are forward for this. Eriksson headed clear for Chelsea. To say you really do need to give Chelsea credit for how they've performed in this season's head-to-heads with Arsenal and City. They've beaten the Gunners home and away and saw off City at Kingsmeadow back in December. Can they make it 4 out of 4, Chelsea? If they do, they'd be big favourites to go on and win the league championship. Erin Cuthbert.
One thing I would say about City, that their midfield 4, Jill Scott's playing on the right, but she's slightly lopsided. She comes more in central, and Lauren Hemp cheating a little bit, obviously allowed to staying up high as much as possible, but which is okay when you've got the ball, but when they lose the ball in transition, it's then very difficult for them to get a hold of Sophie Ingle and G in that midfield, and that's obviously where the goal came from as well. There was not really many of the centre midfielders or midfielders anywhere near G as it dropped her on the edge of the area.
G. Walsh. It's a good idea to look for Becky. It's just in between her and Ellen White, though. Eriksson. Kerr now for Chelsea. Trapped by Horton. Options in the middle. There were Cuthbert and England, but it was cleared by Gemma Bonner. G with the pass to England. Wrighton will keep it going here for Chelsea. And it's Wrighton's cross which is overhit. Two goals in her last 2 games for Guro Wrighton. Actually went to the same school in Norway's Ada Hegerberg. Town of just 5,000 people, but it's produced two fantastic female footballers there.
I think that she's been one of the better players for Chelsea this season. I saw her in the World Cup and she was excellent as well, and she's just taken it in her stride, hasn't she, playing for this team.
Number 68 on the list that was published just before the new year of the world's top 100 women footballers. Very good first season in the WSL for Wright. Throw in here to Manchester City. Worth pointing out, I suppose, Lucy, that more of the pressure here is on Manchester City. The home advantage and a point's a lot better result in some ways for Chelsea than it is for City because of that game in hand that they have.
Absolutely, and you know, they've come here and I would suspect that in their heads it's like, we really want to win, but let's make sure that we don't lose. If we come away with a point, then it sort of keeps City where they are, but they have to win that game in hand, and it's not against the two of the top three, but you know, any team really in the WSL can cause problems, particularly when it gets as important, where you need the points on the board to win the league. There are certain teams in the WSL that will cause problems for Chelsea.
Well, they've had those 2 1-all draws, haven't they, where they've dropped points. Their only dropped points at Reading and Liverpool. Their only defeat this season on penalties against Reading in the Continental Cup group stage. City have lost 5 times across all competitions. It's a real disappointment, wasn't it, that they went out so early in the Champions League. Again, City to Atletico once more.
It's been a bridge too far so far for the English teams, but I know that that's where the likes of City, Chelsea and Arsenal want to be, getting into the finals of these competitions and hopefully winning them one day. They'll really stamp their authority in Europe.
Bright. Stokes trying to rob possession off Cuthbert.
Two really strong players there, Demi Stokes and Erin Cuthbert, fighting it out. Just noticed that Georgia Stanway has just dropped into the 10 position. She picks it up a little bit deeper at the start of the second half.
Becky. Over towards Hemp, but it had gone out of play. And it will be a goal kick to Chelsea. Chelsea, the only unbeaten team in the WSL. In fact, they've not lost any of their last 20 league games. They've won 16 of them.
Due to the low numbers in the WSL, we talk about it every time we do a game about there's only a small margin of error in dropping points. Particularly if the likes of Chelsea are winning lots of games, and as soon as you start drawing games and dropping those 2 points, it just gives either of the top 3 a chance and the impetus to get there.
Well, almost turned into a great ball for Ellen White, who gives the intent a thumbs up.
You've got Ellen White on your team, a ball like that nobody really takes any notice of, she pounces on. Chelsea just need to be aware of that.
It's not quite the same frenetic pace, it's not quite the open game that we had at the start of the first half, as it's now suddenly has become a little bit more cagey.
Yeah, that's probably because the managers have got into the girls at half-time. They probably weren't happy with how many chances were conceded by both teams. You know, that you don't want to give it away that easily, or go 1-0 down quite so easy. So I'm sure it definitely looks tighter now.
England. Cuthbert. Mjelder's cross. And it's dropped for Wrighton. And the shot is saved by Ellie Rowe, but good stop that from England.
City couldn't clear the ball then, could they? In between Bonner and Horton, have done so well so far in this game. Pass it straight back to Wrighton. Ended up with a shot on goal that Roebuck was equal to it. It's a terrific cross in the first place from Mjelde, getting herself further forward.
So Chelsea with the corner. It's Wrighton who takes it, and Roebuck couldn't claim it, and England with the shots.
England just couldn't get a clear view on goal then, could she, as the ball dropped. And Roebuck came out, got something on it. In fact, she got one in the face then, didn't she, from Beth England. You've got to take that, haven't you, as a goalkeeper or a defender. Sometimes you're going to get a ball in the face, but she did enough. Just taking a moment.
That one was on the nose, wasn't it? They hurt, particularly when it's cold.
Eye-watering.
Long it goes then from Roebuck. Here come Chelsea now with England. Sanker unable to latch onto that.
City just switched off there for a second. They thought that they'd got the free kick. It wasn't a foul.
Tempo, come away.
He says he's not looking to put his individual stamp on the team. Alan Mahon, of course, is in interim charge till the end of the season, replacing Nick Cushing, whom he was the assistant to. Business as usual has been the message. Becky's cross. Comes to Jill Scott, and now Janine Becky. Kira Walsh, and Hemp's at the back post, and Hemp perhaps with a chance, but Chelsea get the free kick.
Been a shove from Mjelde there from Hemp.
Sure, that's any different from one on standby.
Little ball in. So she's not offside. The assistant referee gave offside, but I think it was, I don't know whether she gave it for handball then.
Cuthbert being trapped by Weir, two Scotland teammates. Weir stuck to a task really well.
The last thing Caroline Weir wanted to do was chase Cuthbert down the wing, but she stuck at it, didn't she? Conceded the corner, but it's good defending.
It's only two sets of players who are making each other work exceptionally hard today. The standard so high between the WSL's top two. Just a point between City and Chelsea. Cross from Wrighton, and only just wide. They have been a threat from those set pieces, Chelsea.
Cuthbert is appealing there that it touched a Man City defender before it went out. I think she got her head to it. It touched Beckett as it came past, but I think it's difficult for the referee and the assistant referee to see that.
Here comes Berger. Oh, it's not convincing, and it's dropped here for Jill Scott. Janine Becky's getting up in support. Kira Walsh was an option too, but it's Becky who gets it. Looks to play the 1-2 with Jill Scott. Into the box she goes, and White's waiting for the cross, but it's G who scrambles it clear.
Excellent play down that right-hand side by Jill Scott. The referee has just given a free kick against Steph Horton right on the edge, or out on the halfway line. It's good build-up again. Jill Scott just using her physicality to get past Brighton, I think. It's good defending again to Chelsea when the ball gets in the box.
Mjelde.
I think you can say, Adam, that in terms of the shape of both teams, it's a lot tighter and better in the second half, which means not as many chances have been conceded. They don't want to give anything away, and I will suspect that that's how both managers would have wanted their teams to start, but both teams pressured high, conceded a lot of chances on the edge of the area. I think the importance of the game now for both teams. Neither really want to lose, both definitely want to win it.
Walsh said ahead of this, Walsh, that what a massive statement it would be if City could beat Chelsea today. She feels that maybe City have gone under the radar a little bit, believes that the focus has been more on Chelsea and Arsenal, two London rivals. Ingle. Don't know who got it clear, and it starts a City attack here. Hemp. Stanway's made the run, and Chelsea are stretched here. Ellen White getting into the box. It's Stanway! Emphatic! A big goal in a huge game in the title race, and it was hammered home by Georgia Stanway, and City are back in front.
Fantastic counter-attack from City, and when you get Georgia Stanway in front of goal, you see the movement, getting the ball forward as little passes as possible. It's a terrific run. As soon as you get Georgia Stanway in front of goal, it looked like she was shaping to put it in the corner, but she just thrashed it past Berger, didn't she? She's got so much power in that shot. She kept her composure. She thought about passing, no chance. Terrific finish. And a good move by City, and Chelsea just caught on the hop there. Outnumbered at the back.
Her fourth league goal of the season, and didn't she enjoy that? The England international. Went back to her native Barrow earlier this month to put on a football clinic for young girls who are aged between 10 and 14. Takes that side of things really seriously, Georgia Stanway, even though she's only still 21 herself. But what a contribution she's just made here. And the stoppage in play here is because I think that Ellie Roebuck is still suffering the after effects of that ball she took to the face a little while ago.
She definitely got slammed in the face with the ball, didn't she? Goalkeepers alike, they just put anything in front to stop a goal, and she's struggling a little bit under her eye or her nose. See as it drops, it's swung at by Beth England right in her face, and that's, she wasn't that far away from Beth England when she connected with the ball, so that'll have hurt. It's a good opportunity for the City players to revel in that second goal and just take the sting out of Chelsea as well.
Worth remembering, though, isn't it, that whilst it was a great counter-attack, it's all started from that clearance from Gemma Bonner, didn't it?
It did, Adam, and I think crucially as well, if you watch again the movement of Ellen White in the counter-attack, she took two defenders away from Stanway that allowed Stanway that free run onto goal, and I think, you know, you cannot sort of look past that as well. Such a good player, Ellen White, and sometimes movement is as good as a pass, and she allowed that route to goal for Stanway.
Georgia Stanway will be one of the players that Phil Neville takes with him for the She Believes Cup. What do you make of the squad, Lucy? A good chance to ask for your thoughts.
Yeah, he's obviously looking at younger players, isn't he? And you know, coming through the England age groups, you know, some of the better players in each age group are always primed to get some experience with the senior squad and who can step up. And the only way Phil Neville will see whether some of these younger players will be able to step up is to watch them in a tournament environment. So it's ideal for him.
As though Ellie Roebuck's going to be okay. We do have Benham, the backup goalkeeper, on the bench should she be required. We're talking of the benches, Lucy, with half an hour to go there or thereabouts here if we include added time. You start to wonder how the coaches here could come into play in terms of the substitutes that they can make. Well, we'll get back to that in a moment, because here comes City looking for a third. Hemp's waiting in the box, White's there too, and Weir! Well, behind it goes for a goal kick.
advantage of Chelsea napping again, and again it's fallen in the end to Caroline Weir's right foot. Yeah, the right footer there. It's good run by Stanway. Great first touch with the left foot, but just couldn't hook her right foot around it. And the momentum's shifted a number of times in this game. Back now with Manchester City.
Hemp. Cross cut out by Mjelde, but City very much in the ascendancy here and hungry for more goals. And look at that, a bit of frustration from Maren Mjelde.
Mjelde's not happy with the pressure on the ball that ends up always releasing Lauren Hemp down that left-hand side, and for her as a right-back, she's always been under pressure, hasn't she?
Well, it's worth, I know you did point that out in the first half, Lucy, but it's worth pointing out Maren Mjelde is not a right-back, is she? She's a very accomplished midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, she's an excellent footballer, and that's why she doesn't really look out of place as a right-back, but you know, it probably isn't her preferred position.
In goes the corner, as Eriksson heads clear. Flicked on by Scott. It was cleared by Mjelde. Headed down by Janine Beckie. They seem to lose their spark a little bit at the end of the first half after G's equaliser, Manchester City, but my goodness, they've regained it now.
They've stood firm, haven't they, at the start of the second half. You say a little bit of a tighter game from both teams in the second half, don't really want to concede another goal. Manchester City, just the way that they countered from the clearance from the corner, excellent.
It's a fixture that will always bring back happy memories for City fans. It was against Chelsea in front of a record crowd here that they secured their first and only WSL title back in 2016. Jill Scott and Tony Duggan got the goals that day for City. Could they complete the job here and surely make themselves the title favourites if they can beat Chelsea? Weir sat up to be hit. It was blocked and it fell to Hemp, who strikes it. Shoot on sight policy here from City. They've got a corner.
Such confidence there. Young Lauren Hemp, the ball drops her, and the first thing that she thinks is that she's going to take a swing. Accomplished left foot. One thing you don't do is give Caroline Weir that many touches, ready to set up for a shot. Again, good defending from Mjelde. Gets her body in the way.
On the edge of that 6-yard box as it's floated in. Now, chance of a Chelsea counter-attack. G. Cuthbert. Time and space for Sophie Ingle. Chelsea's unbeaten record in the league on the line here.
Shape has been better in the second half, but it's like they've relaxed into that shape and they're no longer on the front foot like they were in the last part of the first half.
Mjelde. G. In it goes from Cuthbert, searching cross, and it was going to reach Sam Kerr, and it had to be turned behind, and it was by Janine Beckie. That's a really important header.
There's really nothing else Beckie could have done then. She couldn't put the ball at risk to land on Sam Kerr's head, and that's for sure.
You wonder whether Sam Kerr will get her moment in this second half. She nearly always does, doesn't she? Waiting in the box here, the Australian captain. Ingle. The con by Bethinger was brilliant, and it's gone through. Another equaliser for Chelsea, and this time it's scored by the captain. Eriksson makes it 2-2, and Roebuck couldn't keep it out.
That's a rare mistake, wasn't it, from Roebuck, and it's a nothing ball back in, but top class from Eriksson. Make sure she's the one. They're trying to clear it. Ball goes out to Sophie Ingle. It ends up being put back in, and to be honest, it's a nothing ball. It's nodded on by Beth Ingle, but Ellie Roebuck will not be happy with that. And it's not often we ever see any sort of mistake from her, and she just didn't get her hands right, did she? It's a real searching ball in there. Knock on by Beth England. Just put it back in there, which is what Beth England did. From City's point of view, that's a poor goal to concede, but well done, Chelsea.
Eriksen's first league goal of the season. It's a crucial one. Kent now at the other end. Well, this is a game that is living up to the hype. Weir, Ingle with the challenge, penalty! Penalty to City, less than a minute after Chelsea had equalised.
And my first thought there, Adam, was Caroline Weir spun that she did get challenged. Yeah, she did, that's a penalty. Referee was in a really, really good position to see that, and she was just late, wasn't she, Sophie Ingle? Just swung her leg at that. It's a great turn by Caroline Weir in the first place, but what a terrific position for the ref to be in to make sure she makes the right decision.
A pressure penalty to be taken by Stanway, and it's saved! Kept out by Berger, who guessed the right way. What a huge moment in this title race that could be.
You have to keep your cool in those sorts of situations, is exactly what Berger does, and that's what she does best. Stanway is not really in the corner, it's not down the middle, so it gives Berger the opportunity to save it. She gets the right way. It's a good save.
Well, this is the game that just keeps on giving, isn't it? And we've still got 20 minutes plus whatever we get added on at the end.
She doesn't have much to do, has she, Berger, today? She's stood up when her team needs her.
Remember when she was signed by Chelsea, Emma Hayes said that she'd been the best goalkeeper in the WSL for 2 seasons. Here's Stokes. City still threatening. It didn't drop for Ellen White as Billy Bright scrambles it clear. And suddenly, we started the second half by saying the players looked a bit more composed. Oh, dearie me, that's got to be a booking. As Weir hauls down England and takes one for the team a little bit there. But I was just about to say that suddenly it's almost turned into playground football. Everybody's all over the place.
Well, the defendant need a lot to desire, but Caroline Weir, that's something that she had to do, because the last thing you want to do as a City team is let Beth England free with the ball. Allows the team back in, and she gets a yellow card. A whirlwind of the last few minutes.
So Wrighton is replaced with Batman coming on. I have to say, I much prefer, as the neutral watching on, you quite prefer it in some ways when it is heads-gone football, don't you?
It's been an entertaining game for lots of reasons, but particularly when it gets like that.
So hard to predict what will happen next in this game, how it's toed and fro. The momentum has swung from one team then to the other. Who'd be a coach, eh?
Absolutely not. It's the last thing that him and Emma Hayes want to see is such open football, unless their team is the winner at the end of it.
Weir, White, given away by England, but they have it back again here, Chelsea. Cuthbert. Ingle. Eriksen, who scored Chelsea's second equaliser. G, who also was on the score sheet in the first half. Ingle. To praise Chelsea's character, their powers of recovery that they've shown today. Things that will be asked of questions of potential title winners. Oh! Beth England with a moment worthy of this match. Stunning.
Wow. I mean, she's scored some spectacular goals this season, hasn't she? But just the confidence and hardly any backlift. And she's a good goalkeeper, Roebuck, isn't she? And absolutely nowhere near that. Hardly any backlift. Such power. See how the ball moved in the air. It's moved by Bachmann, but terrific, terrific strike from Beth England. Completely turned this game around.
Chelsea in front for the first time, and with one of the goals of the season too. It's just praising Chelsea's powers of recovery. That was to get on level terms. Now they've turned the game on its head. A game that we still have quarter of an hour left to go in. Still much more could happen.
It's a big 15 minutes or so for Man City now. On the back foot. To be fair to Beth England, the wind's going that way, and it's the first time in this game that somebody's actually used the wind to have a shot from the edge of the area. What a goal it was.
Walsh with the pass. Becky with the chance to cross. They're queuing up in the middle. Out it goes for a corner.
Neither team are going to give this game up, are they? Fighting to try to win it.
Quarter of an hour to go. In it goes from Caroline Weir. Came off the head of Eriksson. England clears on the edge of the box. Horton. How many players are in the box here? Stokes floats it to the edge. Bonner flicked it on. Clearance by Eriksson. Weir. Owen Hemp! She's done it! Now it's City who equalise, and it's 3-3 at the Academy Stadium. This is the game that just keeps on giving.
Wow, what a crazy great game this is. In the end, I mean, she's played well, hasn't she? Lauren Hemp, Chelsea couldn't really clear it. City have just kept going, haven't they? What a clever ball this is from Caroline Weir. I thought it was too far, but she managed to just get inside with Rielda, didn't she, at Lauren Hemp? She wasn't giving it up, but the quality of the ball from Caroline Weir just allowed Hemp to just stick her toe out and toe the ball past Berger. From Manchester City, trying to get themselves 3-2 in front, missing a penalty, go behind and then get themselves back level, and this could be anything, this game.
Jules Dottier has been brought on here by Emma Hayes, and it's G who's been taken off. Very interesting change, Lucy.
Yeah, I mean, she drifted in and out of the game, hadn't she, G? She's been really effective at times.
Ramona Bachmann, dispossessed by Janine Beckett.
Torres Dottier offers a little bit of physicality in that midfield as well, which is probably what Chelsea had been lacking at times when Man City had got on top.
Bramer, by the way, amongst all the chaos, has been brought on by Alan Mahon, their top scorer. He's got 22 goals this season.
She's definitely coming on to try and prove that she should have been on the pitch from the start. They need her goals at the moment, Manchester City.
Walsh. Just confirmation of that change. Straight swap up front. We've got some big Champions League ties coming up during the week. Chelsea against Bayern at the Bridge on Tuesday, and then the following night it is Zidane against Guardiola at the Bernabeu. Caroline Weir now for Manchester City. Lauren Hemp making a run down the left. City looking a threat once more, all square at the Academy Stadium. Stanway Walsh, breathless game this. Brilliant game this. Horton, Becky on the outside. Scott's in the box, Brehmer's in the box. And Brehmer's there, it's gone to Hemp. And the chance, and saved by Berger Weir's effort.
Caroline Weir has had 3 chances in this game, and every single one of them has fallen onto her right foot. Pivotal in a couple of the goals as well, but she did swing her right foot at it, but obviously not with the technical capacity of her left foot. Did well there, Berger.
These certainly 2 clubs at the very forefront of the women's game. Clubs with ambitions that ultimately go beyond these shores, but this all about the bread and butter, this all about the title race. And we've got just over 10 minutes of normal time to go. This is only Alan Barnes' 3rd game in the job as interim manager. Horton. Walsh. Good movement by Janine Becky. Almost got her in behind there. The header by Anderson. Still got the crossing. No, Brehmer. And Berger got it clear. And it's dropped here to Jill Scott. And now Keira Walsh. Janine Becky. Look at them all in the box wanting it. And Hemp's at the back post. Just too high for her. Oh, this is heart-in-mouth stuff, this. The title's pretty much on the line here. And you can tell from the way this game's being played.
Yeah, at this point in time now, Emma Hayes bringing Torsdottir on. They don't want to lose this, Chelsea. It's so important that they come here and don't lose. So I think with 10 minutes to go, she's added a little bit of steel to that centre midfield. If the team can go and win it, then fantastic, but they definitely don't want to lose it at this stage, and coming away with a point is not that bad.
They have an opportunity, Chelsea, to win the first domestic silverware of the season next weekend. And right now the focus squarely on the WSL title race as Walsh picks out Stokes. These 2 sides with a reputation for being very good defending, but certainly attack has won out over defence today. There's another example of it. Chelsea with Sam Kerr in the middle. And Horton puts it behind.
Bonner is just caught beyond the ball. 2 centre-halves from Man City have done all right today, but you see she's just gone beyond. Just allowed Beth England. She's worked so hard, Beth England, that she'll always try and get on the end of any sort of ball. Makes it look like a good ball as well.
So 8 minutes to go in Manchester. Brehmer pulled back to defend here. Legs will be starting to get tired. A lot of effort's gone into this. And a header over the bar from Eriksson, who was looking for her 2nd of the day.
She did well there, Eriksson, and she'll be disappointed in herself that she didn't get that on target, because she managed to get away. A free header, really.
We've had 6 goals shared equally here, and 6 different goal scorers as well. Fantastic game of football, but what does it have in store for us in the final 10 minutes or so? You just want it to go on and on. Walsh.
Jill Scott is everywhere, isn't she? She just never stops in the position she's playing in for this team.
the WSL's growth year on year there for all to see. A fast developing and improving league where there's a constant pressure to get better. These two sides, along with Arsenal as well, continually driving each other on and driving up the standards. And it's helping produce spectacles like this, for which we are very grateful. Eriks, Ingle with the pass, Anderson under pressure, City really looking to force the issue, they have to. The onus really on them to go and win this. Chelsea would be much the happier with a point.
Definitely be interested to see if City can contrive a chance for Pauline Bremer in the form that she's in front of goal.
Hemp, who's been excellent. Torsdottir doing really well, sensed what was coming there. Kerr. Cuthbert. Kerr. The Manchester City win would extend their lead at the top to 4 points. There's Cuthbert with the cross, and it almost found England. Behind it goes. It's a goal kick that's been given.
It's not a bad ball, really. Into the middle. Nobody could get on the end of it.
Bonner. Millie Brights momentarily won it back, and now it drops for Beth England up against Horton. It's England who sliced it wide.
She did really, really well to create the opening for herself in the first place, and because she's always there at the end of any sort of loose ball, as soon as she got herself in position, she just didn't get it right, did she? Great play by Millie Bright, she just never gives in.
Stoppage here because of a Manchester City injury. So, coming up from the Premier League, we have a meeting of two big rivals, Brighton against Palace, Saturday midday on 1. And another chance to see Emma Hayes' Chelsea in action next Saturday when they contest the Continental Cup final, along with Arsenal at Nottingham Forest City Ground. 5 o'clock start time for that on BT Sport 1, as Gemma Bonner here continues to receive treatment.
I think all these players, Adam, have just given everything this afternoon. It's had everything this game. They've had to fight and win back possession. They've created chances, both teams. The defenders for each team, I think Bonner there went in for a challenge with, just got a knock on a knee, going in for the challenge with Bright. She's so strong, Millie Bright. She took both Caroline Weir and Gemma Bonner with her.
Emma Hayes has enjoyed some really good battles with Nick Cushing over the years, hasn't she? But this is the first time she's come up against this man, Alan Mark. Hard to know how he will feel about what he's seen out there. You have to digest what you see, because of course they've been in front twice, then they're pegged back, then they go behind and then equalise again.
And on the sideline, Adam, you live it as well, and you've got to stay calm. But his team have responded to everything that's been thrown at them in this game, but really will think that they need to get a winner at this point.
There's still time for one of these sides to go on and claim all 3 points. There's going to be a fair bit added on, one would imagine.
I think this is a dead leg with Bonner. I think they were just attending to a quad.
Whether she's going to be able to run this off. City in a lot of pain here, as they're still City without one of their summer signings. Aoife Mannion, who was injured so early on into the campaign in a Champions League fixture.
She's tough, Bonner. She'll come back on. She's from Leeds. That's what Leeds girls are like.
I remember reading an interview with her where she said that Lucas Radeby was the player who really inspired her as a youngster. So, the Leeds legend.
Yeah, I think there's a problem if you're not inspired by Lucas Radeby. Look him up if you don't know who he is.
Hemp. Stokes, Gemma Bonner's back on. Moving towards the final minute of normal time. It'll be very interesting to see how much gets added on here.
She didn't need to do that, did she? Gave the referee an option to give a free kick then. Georgia Stanway. Give Eriksson a chance to go down. Just takes the pressure off Chelsea a little.
Well, the youngsters in the crowd here today, of course, of which the women's game are trying to attract as many of them as they possibly can.
Devon.
And they'll want to come every week, thinking that if the games are like this every week.
Just a bit, so do I.
Cuthbert. Mjelde. Told that the word is down on the touchline that we're expecting 7 added minutes.
Well, there has been a number of longer injuries and players going down. Berger didn't she? And then Bonner. Physio's having to come on a couple more times, so you can understand that. And it'll be an interesting 7 minutes.
Well, it's an absolutely crucial 7 minutes in the title race. Ramona Bachmann. A play by the City captain, Steph Hall. So Drew Spence is going to be brought on here by Emma Hayes, who is Chelsea's current longest serving, has been with the club since she joined from Fulham in 2008. And, well, if anything confirmed the mindset of Emma Hayes right now, it's taking off Sam Kerr and bringing on a midfielder in Drew Spence.
Yeah, like I said before, at this stage, you take a point. You know, you don't want to put the 3 points at risk and allow Man City at this stage to get those 3 points up. Should be quite happy for this game to fizzle out, unless the team obviously come up with a winner.
Spence right into the thick of the action as Becky sends it forward. City's next league game is away at improving Liverpool, and then they have a Manchester derby to negotiate. Chelsea's next 2 league games at home to Everton and away to Tottenham. Sent long this time by City, and Bremer looking to put Eriksson under some pressure. Did really well there, the Swedish combination of Eriksson and Andersson. Walsh, could there yet be one last chance to win it? Didn't quite reach Georgia Stanway. Cuthbert bringing it forward, but Rebecca Welsh pulls the play back here and gives a free kick to City. What will they do here, City? The temptation, you would think, would be to just stick it in the box, but will they be a bit more cute in their delivery here? They've sent them up from the back, got a better angle for the cross. Thumped clear by Maria Thorsdottir. Just wonder whether Chelsea might start to sit back a little bit here. Not so often see that, don't we? The side protecting a lead. And now they look to go on a counter-attack. England with Spence getting forward in support. by Jill Scott, who was so desperate to try and get the ball back there, mistimed the challenge. And Chelsea will no doubt take their time over this. Let's get Lucy's player of the match, shall we?
Well, it's been really difficult, to be fair, because I've been so engrossed in the game, but I think the standout player for me, and she's really grown into this squad, hasn't she, Lauren Hemp? It's a terrific goal, gets herself in front of Mielda, but she's contributed all the way through the game. But there's a number of players in this game that will stand out, but Lauren Hemp for me.
A goal and an assist today for Lauren Hemp. Is the goal scoring done yet, though? Left by Cuthbert, taken by Mielda. Big claim under pressure by Ali Roebuck.
She's not happy, Adam, straight away. She was slamming her hand down onto the floor, and you can see the reaction from her teammates. I don't know whether she went over on her ankle. She's holding, seems to be holding onto her ankle, her left ankle.
Here's another look at it.
That's a terrific take from her in the first place, kept her eye on it. I just think that she just went over on her ankle. I think she stood, if you see there, can you see there, she stood on Eriksson as she landed. It's not a very nice feeling, that, and that's I think why she reacted the way she did, and so did her teammates.
A check of the watch there by the referee, Rebecca Welsh. And no doubt we are going to obviously have added time on added time here into the 96th minute. There were a minimum of 7 added minutes indicated. And no distance between the coaches here.
No, it's been a fair old contest, hasn't it, at the moment. Can't put a piece of paper between these two teams, but it would favour Emma Hayes' side should it finish like this.
It looks like a change is going to be required here. Benamur, the backup goalkeeper, who's a French international, is going to be required, and this will be a concern as well to Phil Neville with the She Believes Cup coming up, which Ali Roebuck has been named in that squad.
The last thing Phil Neville will have wanted to see is one of his players get injured in this game.
Only 2 appearances so far for City for Karima Benamur, both have been in cup competitions. So we're making her WSL debut here. The former Paris Saint-Germain player was with Toulouse as well, and Paris FC as well. What an unfortunate end to such a fantastic game.
Well, it is, I feel for Ali Roebuck. She did everything right, but you cannot legislate for where you do land and how you land as a goalkeeper if you jump in amongst a number of players.
Clearly there is going to be a lengthy stoppage here while they make sure that every precaution is taken with the injured Manchester City goalkeeper. She really has come on so much. She's very much an example of the modern goalkeeper. It was a part of the women's game that was often criticised, goalkeepers. I know you and I have had many a conversation about it, but now I think we're seeing a generation of goalkeepers, Lucy, who've not just been part of the whole squad in terms of their coaching, they're now getting dedicated goalkeeper coaches, and she's an example of someone who's always had that from the age of 7 years old.
And what a surprise, it produces good quality goalkeepers. Like you talked to Rachel Brown about the goalkeeping coaching she's had when she was younger, and you don't tend to have those years ago, you tend to have an individualised one, so you rely on that raw talent and the aptitude that you had. But Ali Roebuck, obviously she has Karen Bardsley as well, that she's grown up looking up to at Man City. It does make a difference.
Remember that example that was given of someone like Siobhan Chamberlain, who didn't have a full-time goalkeeping coach until she was well into her career, and yet, as I said, Roebuck's had one since the age of 7, but here comes Benamur.
She should be all right, she's got her own ball.
What circumstances to make your WSL debut, though? The closing minutes of an absolute thriller that's key for the title race.
Our goalkeeper's a crackers, though, she won't be bothered. She'll just get straight into it.
Well, we clearly wish Kelly Roebuck all the best, and we sincerely hope that the injury is not as serious as it looks. Perhaps just hope that every sensible precaution has been taken there. On comes Benamur. As we go into the 100th minute at the Academy Stadium. Fantastic young goalkeeper. We hope to see back in action very soon. First touch then for Benamur will be a goal kick. And hard to know now, really, just how much longer this game is going to go on.
It'll be dark soon. Such a disruption for players who need to maintain the concentration. Man City who want to get that winner. Chelsea will make sure that Man City don't get that winner.
England gets it back again. They'll want to test the keeper who's fresh on. It's Cuthbert. England's header, and it didn't quite run through for Batman, but it will come over here to Anderson. Chelsea doing well to keep possession, but City desperately need the ball back here. Walsh. Could there yet be a moment of brilliance to win this, or a mistake perhaps in one of the defences? How tired those players must be. They've all given absolutely everything today.
Concentration levels start to drop, don't they? They're physically tired. They've had the stoppage that they've had in this game.
Last touch off Bremer, and behind it goes for a goal kick. Mjelde. Eriksson. And the goalkeepers, Benamur, immediately rolls out here to Bonner. Time very much of the essence here for Manchester City. On by Cuthbert. Caroline Weir now played it against Tulsdottir. Surely it's going to have to go long here at some point from City. Horton. Janine Becky. Check of the watch by the referee, Rebecca Welsh. And that's it. All square at the Academy Stadium. Beth England, one of 6 different scorers in what was a captivating contest. It lived up to the hype. Maybe an opportunity missed for City with the home advantage, with the owners perhaps a little more on them today. The title remains Chelsea's to lose. Their unbeaten record remains intact. They've still never beaten City here in the WSL, but this a hugely significant point for Emma Hayes' team. They remain a point behind City, but have that all-important game in hand. Full time here, Manchester City 3, Chelsea 3.